it. We did it. We did it, folks. We have made it here to the final video within this self-worth realization series that we have going on here. Okay. And this last one is to take you right toward the solution. Okay. You deserve to have the self-worth that you don't currently have right now. You deserve to not beat yourself up anymore. The other people in your life deserve for you to not beat yourself up anymore. And this final video will make that so clear for you. Okay. Hey, everybody. If you don't know who I am and you haven't watched any of those other videos I've mentioned, my name's Austin Hale, and the purpose of this channel is to help parents rethink education and to help individuals just like you to achieve the actual best version of yourself. And to do that, the first step is to actually realize what we've been accepting and who I really am in the first place. And by I mean you, so that you know who you are, right? But if you want to know more about who I am and you don't know me, I've spent more than 10 years in the mindset space. I have clients in multiple countries. I've built multiple businesses. I've overcame addiction. I support a wonderful marriage with my wife, and we have multiple kids. I'm constantly supporting other folks as well that are actively walking with me in this process. And I'm here to help you help yourself to reach the potential that you actually desire. Okay? You are worth it. And the other people in your life are worth it as well. It's worth it for you to even do it for them. But if you can't do it for yourself, you're surely not going to be able to do it for them. Because even though, oh, I want to help my family, I'm trying to help other people, you can't actually help other people if you can't help yourself. And the starting point of that, wanting to help other people, is because you don't even feel good enough yourself. And that external validation, of which we've covered in other videos, is because your starting point is not feeling good enough. And so the starting point is the end point. You will never feel good enough along the journey, and then you will end up not feeling good enough as well, thus creating the time loop. Okay? So if you're new here, even if you've watched all these other videos, like and subscribe, okay? Shoot me a message on my social media links down in the description. That's the fastest way you'll be able to get to me. Right now, while I have a smaller channel, I'll be able to comment back and forth directly, sometimes right when you make the comment, but I'm pretty busy, but I'll definitely get back to it on a daily basis. But the main point is here, folks, I'm an advocate of a closed mouth does not get fed. So I can put these videos out. I can show you my life on social media. We can, expose you to the Friday night global hangouts we do. We have a men's group, a women's group, a parenting call. We're going on a cruise next month. We went to the Ritz-Carlton last year. We went to a luxury resort the year before that. Like, we're doing amazing things now because our group is growing so much. But the point is, I will never know who you are, and we will never have, that is 100% true. We will never have a conversation, especially if you're not in my physical environment, if you don't just reach out. And so, because of that, all right, don't be shy, subscribe, and shoot me a DM, okay? Because I'm excited to get into the rest of this video. So, the direction that we're headed right now is towards the solution, okay? We're looking at self-worth as a consistency built through actions, not just a feeling, because those feelings, you already know they change. I don't have to convince you of that. You know that because you've been living it your entire life, and you've been aware of it now more than ever because you feel so negative. And that's why the spirituality trap is there. Just feel good. Just feel good. Just feel good. Well, if I just focus on feeling good, why am I even in the first place doing that? Because I feel bad. Okay, then let's look at how you feel bad and why you feel bad instead of just trying to cover the surface so that you feel good with a nice little band-aid. We're not doing that anymore, folks. Those of you who know my story and watch those other videos, you know how long I was consuming substances. You know what my life was like and what I went through in the deep, dark depths of my mind and how that contributed to the results I was having in my life. And now you might see me with a suit, a nice tie on. I'm articulating a message, and I have a home, and I have a wife, and the kids, and this amazing community. I'm supporting these people, and I got a business. And yeah, that's all true. But that's because I stood and I took responsibility. And I said, I'm going to be the first wave of change for my family. Okay? Because those that came before me did not take more responsibility than just themselves. All of them basically didn't even take responsibility for themselves to have their best life. Because then if you take responsibility for yourself to have the best life, then you actually care about the other people as well. So that's a totally other conversation. But my point is, you can't help other people if you can't actually help yourself. So now I have consistency. Now I've been living the actions. It's not just an idea, folks. It's not just a concept. I mean, think about how much life you have left to live. If you're 20, if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're 50, you have so much more life to live. Even if you're 50, think about that. Let's say you live till you're 90. You didn't really start considering these concepts probably till you were an adult. So let's call that 20 years old. From 20 years old to 50 years old, that's 30 years. And 30 years from now, you being 50, you're going to be 80. So that means you still got 10 more years after that for this example of you being 90, right? You have so much more life to live. But if you're thinking that you're not worth it, you're never going to consider your potential. You're never going to consider actually achieving it. What if it all works out? What if it all fucking works? I'm an example of that. It worked. I kicked my addiction and I beat my addiction and I didn't just swap it for food. You know how many people I see do that? My freaking mom does that. My parents do that. My family does that, right? If it's not one substance, it's another. And half of the other family doesn't even take responsibility for any of it, right? And how many of your family members are just the same way? How many of your friends are the same way? How many people in your life don't take responsibility and don't reflect a sense of self-worth? And we covered that in the other video, talking about how your influences around you directly impact your self-worth. Austin, how are you talking about your family like that? Shut up. Because if you actually considered your family not being your family for a second and then looked at what they do and how they live life and how they conduct themselves and what they're willing to actually stand for versus what they're willing to accept and allow, you wouldn't be around them either, right? So it's like the whole concept of strangers will become your family and support you in your change more than your own family. Why is that? Because your family and friends you went to high school with know you when you were at your lowest. And for them to self-honestly look at and accept who you are now without those emotions, that means that they have to take responsibility that they're the same and they haven't grown and they're still drinking, they're still smoking, they're still obese, they're still not willing to communicate, they're still not having the best relationship, they're still just accepting and allowing each other's limitations and not standing for something. So that's a whole nother conversation, but those that value self-worth value those points and they see it. And I'm just the one that's speaking on it, right? It's not like it's new information, folks, right? So right now we're going to the consistency through the actions. People don't know something until they act on it because you don't truly know something is best for you unless you act on it, right? I don't know why I'm asking you this because you have low self-worth. I'm going to tell you, people show that they know by their actions, okay? So now we have this point of self-forgiveness and self-correction. At some point, despite if you're religious or not, you need to let go of what you're holding on to. You need to remove the past emotional charges and you need to redefine yourself. Emotional charges, Austin. What are you talking about? Emotional charges to these words, phrases, people, places, events in your life, self-image, self-confidence, self-esteem, the belief in yourself and your abilities. Folks, self-authority. You gotta start to develop it. And that's where we're going with this solution, okay? I'm living as a self-leader. I'm living as self-authority. And I'm not just yapping about it, folks. Look at my life. Join our group. Watch my social media. Look at how I interact with my kids. Look at the message I've been preaching the entire time I'm on social media, folks. I want to develop others as equals because others helped me look at myself as an equal so that I can have an impact on my life, folks. Okay? So, stability now is what we have. Low self-worth people need validation. Okay? You don't need an Audi to have a better relationship. You don't need a bigger house to have a better daily life. I'm in a position, and those that are around me involved in what we're doing no longer need external confirmation to define me and myself. How amazing would that be for you? If you don't need to watch social media to get stimulated, if you don't need to go and get on Tinder and go and get on dating apps in order to find a relationship just because it's easier that way. What if you didn't need a new car? What if you didn't need a six pack like I got a six pack. I can show you my six pack. What if you didn't need that to feel good about yourself, folks? Just consider it. You deserve it. You're worth it. And I might be the only one to literally tell you that you're worth it. Okay? And I haven't been this way my whole life. I thought for years and decades that I wasn't good enough. And then I was able to develop this sense of self and realize that it was just based on the conditioning that I had when I was younger, based on the neglect that I had from my family, based on the improper communication methods that they used, based on the confusion and the lack of accountability within the family and the social circles I was around and the environment that I was in. So then I just played out that program, folks, and you're doing the same thing. And if you want to stop, that's why I have my social media links in the description. Now is the time. You need not know more about this topic, folks, because living self-worth practically is reflected within your daily actions. And those daily actions are aligned then with self-honesty. And so many people aren't honest about what's actually going on. So many people don't uncover the layers of the onion to see what they really are accepting and allowing, typically because they don't deem it to be worth it. Okay, well, now you're impacting other people in your life because you're allowing yourself to be a more limited version of yourself, accepting and allowing your limited way of thinking, therefore reinforcing your beliefs that have brought you to this current state of being and living, of which there is something that you don't like about it, at least 1%, or you wouldn't have watched this video this long, you wouldn't have watched any of the other videos, and you wouldn't resonate with one word that I'm saying. So, now that we're able to look at this, those who want to take responsibility, reach out, and I will share with you, I could call it this brainwasher breaking program that we have. This brainwasher breaking reality that we have, okay? Because you're able to truly reprogram yourself. You're able to truly actually understand you and your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings. And I'm talking about everything on a basic level here, folks. Okay? This stuff is super simple, okay? But life is in alignment with that, right? Life is simple, but your mind makes it complicated. And I don't blame you. I understand. I mean, I know. I've been there, right? And if you want to know more, or if you think I'm just pulling your strings or something, like reach out. I'll tell you more about my story. I'm going to continue to make more videos, but if you find it until I have those videos, or excuse me, if you find it before I have those videos uploaded on my page, just reach out. Closed mouth don't get fed. I'd be happy to tell you more about it. But I implore you to realize that you can actually change. You can have the self-worth. You can have the self-esteem. You can have the self-confidence. And you can walk alongside another individual. And I'm walking alongside so many other individuals who are standing up and taking responsibility as the first wave of change in their family to create a new reality for themselves and their family and their communities so that we can then impact this entire world. And so, folks, reach out, okay? Because a closed mouth does not get fed. You can have your dream life, you can have your dream relationship, you can have every single thing that is best for you because you know that you're worth it. You know that you can achieve it. You know that whatever comes up along the way, you'll be able to get over it. You'll be able to figure it out. Folks, no problems over here, only solutions. Doesn't matter what's thrown our way, folks. No problems, only solutions. And what would it be worth for you to unwaveringly think and live and act in the same manner? You're worth it. You're worth it. And I want to see you win because you're worth it. And if you got any questions, reach out. Because for you to actually see who you are and experience the best version of yourself, I thought it would take a lot longer than this for it to happen to me. And it still feels like we're just getting started. So if you got a question, if you like this mini series, if you want to go deeper, leave a comment, shoot me a message, whatever you need. But I'll be here and my door is always open. And like I said, once again, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video, even though I'm providing all the value and I'm over here telling you thank you. You are not alone. And you don't have to keep feeling like that. Have a good day.